Words are shoddy tools, and emotions are unclear. We need to combine these two things in order to have good communication. And I'm kind of speaking to both sides of this equation. There are lots of people who like logic, prefer carefully articulated words, and sort of poo-poo the whole emotion thing. They don't like emotional people, and sharing emotions makes them feel vulnerable. And that's a little bit negative. There's people that don't bother to articulate, to learn the right words to say something, to grasp the nuance between different similar words that give you options on how to say things. I think neither of those is particularly useful on its own. The value of good words is that they are precise at capturing something. The value of emotions is they show how you feel about something. Emotions are often the more accurate in terms of really knowing authentically somebody is in a certain place. That upset them, that pleased them, that raised questions in them. That's what emotions communicate, whereas words get very specific. I think words are shoddy tools and emotions are unclear but authentic. You have to combine the two to get to a good place. So imagine if someone says, "We've read your proposal and we're on board." If you think about it from the word side, that's a positive. It certainly doesn't sound like a negative. But you don't know how on board they are. You don't really sense anything compared to someone saying, "Hey, we read your proposal. We are on board." And I know that person is on board. If you get someone who says, "Look, we read your proposal and, we're on board," they're sort of on board. You have more indication of where they're really at. So you're always approximating, even when you try to use precise words. Words imply a precision, but emotions validate that grounding so that you really understand. A lot of people favor one or the other. I tend to favor emotions and whatever words come out. And my business partner, who I deeply respect his precision, he chooses his words carefully, but I'm still sometimes wanting to know, how do you feel? The reality, neither is good enough. And so we need to come together if we're going to be a good speaker, if we're going to be a good communicator, a good salesperson, if we're going to land the project, if we're going to work well with people, if we're going to manage the negotiation, and if we're going to set the tone that allows us to work all the nuances of the human side of life that is different from our expertise, we are going to want to master both sides of this. Maybe master is too strong a word. We want to participate and grow and elevate our ability to work with the emotion side and work with the word articulation side so that we're good communicators. So practice them both. I sometimes practice them separately. I spend some time with a thesaurus. I read Apple News articles and I notice when the word I'm reading, I'm not quite sure what that word actually means. I look them up. I try to increase my vocabulary so that I can find that precise descriptor. But I think about how I feel so that together my feelings and my words work together for more influence.